doorway to nightmare. Come in. Welcome. I'm your host, Artemis Black. The wonderful feeling of happiness and joy of being loved, of being looked after and taken care of by someone who truly loves you. For many of us, that would be a family member. For some, a caregiver. But there are those who question the motives behind pure kindness.
Just as creepy as I remember.
When was the last time you were even here?
Okay, so I didn't come to see Uncle Waldo as often as you. What of it?
He was sick. You should have at least made an effort.
And now he's dead. Look, I didn't like coming here when we were kids.
And the only reason you are here now is because of his will, right?
Oh, that's not fair. I live almost 500 miles away. And what about you?
What do you mean by that?
Like you don't have your eyes on all that money? Why else would you have come here to take care of Uncle Waldo?
I resent that little remark. I took damn good care of him. A lot more than you did.
Well, it doesn't matter now. He's gone.
How did you find out anyway?
I got a phone call from Albert. Why do you ask?
Because I should have been the one called first.
I did try, Miss Doris.
Apparently not hard enough. When did Uncle Waldo pass?
It was yesterday morning. The doctor was here when it happened.
So, when is the funeral?
I'm afraid that your uncle did not wish for there to be a formal service.
So what did you do? Just chunk him into the ground?
He is currently in the family crypt beside the house.
Oh, well, that's not creepy at all.
Shut up, Alan. Albert, what did our uncle die of?
I believe it was his heart. Yes, I'm sure that's what the doctor said.
Wasn't there an autopsy?
No, sir. The doctor felt that there was no need.
Really? And what about the police? Didn't they have a say-so in it?
The doctor assured me that there was no need for the authorities.
So the old boy was squirreled away in the family vault. When do we get to see the will?
Rather callous, don't you think? Regardless, the attorney should be here the day after tomorrow, as per Master Craven's instructions.
Wait a minute. You mean we have to stay here?
I have prepared rooms for both of you, unless you wish to return.
I hope the storm isn't too bad.
How was your room?
Not bad. This one's actually nice.
Yeah, I suppose. What did you want to talk about?
Are we absolutely sure that Uncle Waldo is pushing up daisies?
What are you driving at?
We only have Albert's word for it.
So, what?
So, what if he's actually still alive?
And why would he want to fake something like dying? It's too creepy, even for Uncle Waldo.
Look, he always said that nobody really loved him. You and I are the only family that he has.
True. And you were the only one who would come and visit him.
Well, like, take care of him.
He did have Albert.
Yeah, but even Albert wants a day off every once in a while. Besides, there was a method to my madness.
Oh, let me guess. All of those millions that Waldo has.
You got it, dear cousin.
Unless, of course, he isn't dead.
Why you guys to rain on my parade?
Look, I liked the old man. If I could have afforded it, I would have had him live with me. But he didn't want to leave this creepy house.
It's because of this obsession he had with all of the Wiccan crap.
He was a pretty good magician back in the day. It always freaked us out when we were kids.
The storm's getting worse. I hope the lights don't go out.
Don't worry. I'm sure Albert has plenty of candles.
Ah! Look at that.
What? I don't see anything.
There, at the window. I thought I saw...
What? What did you see? Doris, you're white as a sheet.
It was... I swear. I saw Uncle Waldo at the window. He was staring at me.
The actor Patrick Swayze once said, "When those you love die, the best you can do is honor their spirit for as long as you live." However, in the Craven house, there doesn't seem to be much honor for the dead. I'll be back shortly with Act 2.
Hey guys, this is Crimson.
And this is Swan, and we'd love to know what you think of the stories.
Even if it's bad.
So leave us a comment.
Or give us a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Henry Van Dyke once wrote, "What you possess in the world will be found at the day of your death to belong to someone else. But what you are will be yours forever."
Albert, who else is here?
I don't understand the question, Miss Doris.
I mean, who else besides Alan and myself is here at the house?
Only the two of you.
Uncle never hired a groundskeeper or anything like that?
If he did, I was unaware of it.
Uh-huh. Okay, then I would like to see poor, dear, departed Uncle Waldo.
But he has already been laid to rest. Surely you cannot mean that you
There
want...
was no funeral, no memorial service. I want to pay my final respects to my uncle.
Doris, did I hear you correctly?
Come on, Alan. How do we know that Uncle Waldo is really dead?
Look, just because you think you saw Uncle Waldo at the window...
I did see him, just as I'm seeing you now. What do you say, Albert? Do you think that Uncle is still alive?
Couldn't this have waited?
Don't be such a wuss, Alan.
Master Allen, will you help me with the coffin lid?
Oh, sure. Get the coward to help.
Oh, for crying out loud. Give me the crowbar. I'll do it.
Huh, I've got a wonderful idea. Why don't we go back to the house and have a nice brandy and listen to some music and do all of this when that big, bright, beautiful sun is shining down in the morning?
Will you shut up? I've almost got the nails out. Christ, how many do they hammer in?
Master Craven wanted 13 nails.
Who uses a wooden casket nowadays?
It was all a part of his magic.
Are you gonna start up with that Wiccan garbage?
I can only tell you what the master wanted me to do.
Got it. Okay, Alan. Help me with the lid.
Perhaps I had better take the lid off. Alan looks a little faint.
Oh, whatever. Come on. Let's get a good look at dear departed Uncle Waldo.
Look!
Albert? Was Uncle Waldo laid in the casket on his stomach?
No, ma'am, he was not.
Look at his shoes. They're covered in mud.
This is crazy. I'm still not convinced.
What do you mean, not convinced? What more proof do you need?
That he's dead? Oh no. He's dead all right.
So how do you explain the mud on the boots?
Has it ever occurred to you that Albert could have put those boots on the corpse?
Doris, that was fresh mud.
So you honestly think that Uncle Waldo pushed open the lid of his coffin, took a little stroll, crawled back in, nailing himself shut, and just rolled over on his stomach to get more comfortable?
Okay, so it's a little far-fetched, I grant you, but do you have an explanation? Remember, Uncle Waldo was a pretty good magician in his day.
Now, don't you start with all that witchcraft crap.
All I know is, as soon as the will is read tomorrow, I'm out of here.
What? Who's there? Albert? Alan? Who is... No. Uncle Waldo! But you're dead. You are dead!
To the living, we owe respect, but to the dead, we owe only the truth, wrote Voltaire. And what truth does Doris owe? Perhaps we will discover that in Act 3.
Mystery, horror, thriller, suspense. Novels and short story collections from Winslow Swan, now available from Amazon.
Pope Paul VI once said, "Somebody should tell us, right at the start of our lives, that we are dying. Then we might live life to the limit, every minute of every day. Do it, I say. Whatever you want to do it now. There are only so many tomorrows."
Alan! Open the door! Please!
Doris? What's going on?
Please, Alan, just let me in.
You do realize it's after midnight.
I don't care. I saw him. And this time in my room.
Saw who? Doris, what are you talking about?
Uncle Waldo. He was in my room.
Are you absolutely positive it was Uncle Waldo?
Yes. He was standing by the window glaring at me. I know what he looks like. Who else could it have been? Wait a minute.
I think you just answered my question.
Of course. Albert. There isn't anyone else in this house,
And with the soft light, the storm outside, and we have no idea what the will says.
I wouldn't have put it past Albert to trick Uncle Waldo into giving him everything.
That thought had crossed my mind ever since we saw the muddy shoes.
Hey, look out the window, quick!
What is it?
That looks like... No.
What did you see?
Alan, I don't know how Albert is doing this, but I will swear I just saw Uncle Waldo walking toward the crypt.
At least the storm let up.
Do you remember which key it was?
It's one of those that were hanging in the kitchen.
I'm getting to the bottom of this tonight.
And what do you want me to do?
Just stay right here. If I'm wrong, and it's somebody else...
You mean Albert may not be in this alone?
Exactly! That's why I brought my gun.
Just make sure you don't shoot yourself. Or me.
Don't worry, just stay here.
Doris! Doris, you okay? What do you see? Doris! Why did you close the door?
Alan! Open the door!
I'm trying. Why won't it open?
No! No! Stay away! Stay back! I'll shoot!
Doris, what's going on?
Do you know what time it is?
I asked Doris the same thing. Now come on.
It's a good thing I've got an extra set of keys.
She's inside the crypt, and she may be hurt. Just hurry up and open it. Doris, you in here?
She doesn't seem to be. Perhaps she went back to the house.
The door was locked from the outside. And look, here's her gun. And it's been fired.
But she isn't in here.
I've got a bad feeling. Where's the crowbar we used the other night?
What are you doing?
I'm going to open this coffin again.
Please, Master Allen, I beg of you.
Will you help me?
Allen, please, you must understand something. Please, before you open that coffin, listen to me.
What? What is going on?
Your uncle was afraid of being alone, but he also knew how greedy your cousin was.
What are you trying to tell me? She was the only one that tried to help him.
Master Craven was convinced that Doris was slowly poisoning him. He did not want to die alone, or even be alone. He thought he could fake his death and confront Doris.
So, he is alive.
No, sir. That is what I've been trying to tell you. He is dead.
Help me with the lid, Albert.
You see, he really was a powerful witch.
Oh my God.
There is Doris, lying next to her uncle, his arms holding her tightly.
Her face. She looks as if she died of pure terror. And his face. He looks like he is smiling.
At least now, your uncle has company.
As Albert and Alan replace the coffin lid, they shudder as a cold wind blows through the crypt. I will have a final word in just a moment.
If you're liking these shows, check out our other episodes on our YouTube channel. There's also some previews of Swan's audiobooks on there as well. Come join us.
I leave you with the wisdom of Socrates. To fear death is nothing other than to think oneself wise when one is not. For it is to think one knows what one does not know. No one knows whether death may not even turn out to be the greatest blessings of human beings. And yet, people fear it as if they knew for certain it is the greatest evil. Our cast included Crimson McKenzie and Dave Arkipov and Raven Adams. The story was edited by Crimson McKenzie and directed by Winslow Swan. And now, a preview of our next tale.
You got court tomorrow?
Yes. You ever been? To court, I mean.
Wouldn't still be here if I had. You got nothing to worry about.
But I didn't do anything.
Of course you didn't. Nobody here did anything. Well, that isn't the point. It's all about the verdict and the sentence.
What's the worst that they could do?
That's the one thing you never want to hear the judge say. He sentences you to run.
This is Artemis Black, inviting you to return with us to the Doorway to Nightmare for another adventure into the world of your own terrifying imagination. Until next time, slumber peacefully. Epilogue.
The butler did it.